I don't know if this is the right place to pour out my because it's been really, really stressful. I'm really exhausted. The whole thing is I really want it to end. So at first the first 2 weeks I was like, oh, I really needed that break. But now I'm like, I really want to go back to work. Which leads me to the conversation we're having today. We're talking about how the coronavirus impacts our mental health. So first, what how's this coronavirus impacted you first before we move into the conversation of how it impacts our mental health?
Well, I can't deny that has not had its own impact on me because quite a number of things that I would have done, right? I can't move out, I can't visit offices, I can't visit organizations. So I'm stuck here having to do everything online. Consultations are done online, therapy sessions are done online, meetings moved online, and so on. But again, I won't just live in hopeful. Every day I have come to that conclusion that it's a matter of understanding that it's a phase. It's not a forever thing. It's not something that will be there forever. It's just a phase. And so you need to understand that it's a phase that you overcome, right? And then just stay hopeful. When you see what is happening and just reduce that mental pressure that is to be feeling, right? But as long as we can begin to recondition our minds and make people understand the narrative or change the narrative, that rather than seeing it as being trapped, you see it as taking break from work, and right now you have to work from home.
I get that. I get that. Something that doesn't also doesn't help in this time is the news. So yesterday, I saw Miranda Gates trending on Twitter. The conversation she had about the numbers of people that Africa, while our numbers are not up there, is because we do not have enough test kits. And then you there's so much information that you have to consume because you're indoors, and it increases your anxiety level. And there's also the conversation about the insecurity around the Lagos and Ogun State suburbs, those joining,
Yeah.
yes, suburb areas, and that increase. So today you're hearing, oh, this is happening here, this is happening there, and you're like, am I safe where I am? First, there's a conversation about, oh, how am I going to survive for the next 2 weeks? And now you're hearing these stories from people in authority, the people that you rate their voices, saying, oh, so and so. And then you're also seeing that, oh, there's insecurity in this part, and you're not sure about what would happen to you wherever you are. So how do you navigate all of this feeling?
It's quite sad that what is happening in those communities, and it's quite painful. And I breezed into Twitter yesterday to see what was going on, and I saw the trend. I mean, so someone was saying today that he has gone to get his own cutlass just in case they come to his house. And I told him that, look, it's a different thing to have a weapon. It's another thing to even know how to wield the stick or to wield the weapon. I think at this point, I have a clear-cut dimension or a clear-cut path as to the insecurity thing. But what I can just do is encourage, right, that sometimes fear kills faster than even the actions, right? Already there is fear that I hope they don't come to my house. Already there is that fear that I hope it doesn't happen to me, right? And if not careful, the fear is enough to even bring you down. The fear is enough to make you feel trapped. The fear is enough to make you experience panic attacks, right? It's enough to take away your sleep. But you see, fear again is something that you're anticipating, right? Yes, you've heard it happen to people, but you're anticipating that it might happen to you. So what do you do when you have this kind of anticipation? First and foremost, yes, you might want to prepare and all that, ensure that your doors are shut, all right? Say whatever form of prayer you think you can say, you think you can get all the weapons that you want to get, understood. But again, you need to come to that point where you are hopeful, right? And you do not allow fear to trap you, because the moment fear begins to trap you, it hinders your thinking. It makes your thinking restricted. You're not able to think in the real sense of it. And so you need to try as much as possible to ask yourself, this is happening, right? What can I do to protect myself? What you can do, you do. But one key thing that I now say is, okay, I'm not going to be afraid. I am hopeful that it won't get here, right? But I'm not going to allow the thought of it getting here disturb me or hinder me. You need to understand how your body system responds to unpalatable situation. For some people, they pace around. They pace around to get themselves together. For some people, all they need is just some solemn music. For some, it's some danceable music. For some, it's just to stand still and meditate. Whichever it is that currently works for you, swing into that mode. If you don't understand yet, experiment. At the end of the day, you find whichever works for you. Again, it's not something that will work one day after when you try. Over time, your body adjusts, your brain adjusts, your mind interprets it, and then there's a connection. So the moment your mind is sending a message to the brain that, look, this is what this person wants to do, and the brain swings into action, response.
Okay, I get that. You talking about the mind swinging into action, and something I'd like to relate that with is the information available to all of us. So a lot of us, we have a lot of time on our hands, and when you take in all the information you're taking in, they're all negative information. How does that impact your mental health?
I can't even measure that, to be honest, because I mean, I've been preaching this since that we're at that point where you need to begin to filter the information that you're taking. So much of trash and nonsense going on social media that there are enough, right, to knock you off balance. And so you must decide, what are you going to watch? What are you going to listen to? Where are you going to get your news from? Because I realized that when people are spreading the news of coronavirus, a lot of times they give you the gist of how many people have died, the gist of how many people are infected in countries. Most times they don't give you the gist of how many have recovered. And people are recovering. Even here in our country, Nigeria, people are recovering. Get things that are helpful. Listen to things that are helpful. We cannot rule out the fact that negative information, bad information ruins us mentally, because it throws you into fear, throws you into panic, throws you into instability. And you want to experience that at the moment. You already have enough on our hands at the moment, something to worry about. You don't want to go through that moment of one information or one gist scattering your mental state.
Fantastic. So let's round this off with a conversation about how we can take care of our mental health. So I had a conversation with a colleague who works with certain brands who complained that since the pandemic, she's just been stuck at home, and she feels like she's not giving in her 100 when it comes to her clients, the work she's doing for her client, because she's mentally stressed. That's the word she used. Yes, mentally stressed. So how can we take care of our mental health?
If people think that working from home can be fun, the truth of the matter is working from home can be more stressful than working from the office. Because before you say jack, the day is gone. Especially if your work requires that you sit behind a computer. By the time you wake up, your brain tells you that there's need for work, and before you say jack, the day is gone, and you realize that you probably haven't even spent time for yourself at all. So you need to create break time. Create a time where you eat, you catch up on gist with people, and do some other things before you return to work.
I saw this particular tweet, and I thought to read it out. So after you survive this crisis, consider it your second life. Work on your dream body, dress up better, achieve that clear skin, go somewhere you've never been, cut ties with unnecessary people, do the things you've been putting on hold, be kinder to yourself, and choose to be happy. Also, one thing that is really common now is some people are pulling out schedules. Some people are telling you, oh, this is how I'm doing it. But it might not necessarily work for you. So for me, I was feeling unproductive a few days ago. I put it up on my WhatsApp that, oh, my friend, in spite of this lockdown, my friend has started her podcast, and it's really nice. The production is nice. I've not done anything personal for myself. So there's that pressure and for you, because you're seeing other people's routines and schedules. So how do you address all of those?
Now you remember that at the beginning of this pandemic, it was an issue of you must come out of this space having acquired something new,
some skill. Yes.
Yes, a lot of free courses here and there, and people were rushing and grabbing. After a while, that died down and became an issue of you must come out of this season a new person, a new skill, a new stuff, a new that, and a new that. Now, pressure has always existed. When you were coming out of the university or the polytechnic or college of education, the pressure was get a job. And then you got a job, and the pressure was, when are you getting married? Or when are you buying a car? And then you get married, the pressure is when are we expecting children? And so it keeps piling and piling. The difference is that this period rather, of its own challenges and questions. And how you answer the question is totally up to you. So it means that you must build a resistance to environmental pressure, environmental gist, and come to that point where you ask yourself, number one, this is a season, right? What can I make do of this season? Number two, how am I planning for the post-COVID era? Now, how you navigate this season is also entirely dependent on you. Don't allow people, right, around to say this is how you should go, because pressure help you to start, but may not be able to keep you going. And so pick the things that you enjoy. The things that you enjoy are the things that you should pick up at moments like this. Start from what you enjoy. That if you're not picking anything that you've not been enjoying, it's because you're moving through that, and then you have your mindset that you want to check it out. Not because everybody is screaming that you should do this. And so people are also beginning to say, after this thing, visit places you have not been to before. Is this idea of, when they say, when you suffer and you come out of that suffering, give yourself a treat. When you earn your salary, right? Give yourself a treat because you have worked hard. It's that mindset that you should take yourself out after all these things because you want to celebrate yourself, that you survived this period. But again, you should ask yourself, the people tweeting, the people saying this, are you on the same level?
How do you tell yourself that you'll still be fine? Because a lot of people there's that need to start doing something. There's that need to, do something. But some people genuinely do not want to do something. But because of, you're seeing this person doing this, you're seeing this person doing that, there's that, I need to do something myself. What do you say to the person who doesn't really want to do anything necessarily at this time?
So doing what you consider doing something is then
starting a course, working out, eating right, building something.
When money is involved, when you know that this thing that you are doing is going to bring money for you, even if you don't like it, you want to do it. Am I lying?
Sure.
Sometimes you won't if it's going to be stressful for you. Other times you close your eyes to the stress and conclude that the compensation for your stress is the money that would come in, right? And because I also realized that a number of people know things, right? But they may not know how to even stand in front of the camera and say the things that they know. Now, why did I share this? If you come out of this era, this season, without a skill, you are not a waste. You have not wasted your time. The real question is, how much did you do yourself? How much time did you spend with yourself during this period? Let me try to explain. If you live in a place like Lagos, we live a life of rush. Especially for those who work 8 to 5 or 6 and the likes. We live a life of rush out, rushing. Now, by the time you come back in the evening, either you are wasted or you're finished and you just want to go to bed. Now, you have the time. You have the time to look into the corners and crevices of your house. You have the time to rearrange your sitting room, your room. You have the time to cook for yourself. Enough of the food I've been buying from Amarisika and Yabasira. Now you have the time to cook the meal for yourself. You can eat when you like. You can eat what you like. How much of that are you doing? Every day in the office, you have been complaining, man, it's not for time. I got to cook this food for myself. Oh. Now you can cook it by yourself. Have you been doing that? You keep complaining that because of time, you're not able to exercise. Now you have the time. Are you exercising? You keep complaining that you're unable to read any book because of work. Now you have the time. Have you read the book? Now, I listed these things because these are things that you should do for yourself. Not because anybody is asking you to do them. Not because you want to give back to anybody, but for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you return to that job that's not been giving you time, you would have something to show yourself that you maximize the era. So you're not doing something out of the ordinary. You're doing things that you had always desired you wanted to do, but you complained you didn't have time. Now you have the time. Are you doing them? So my real question is always, are there things that you have always wanted to do, that but for the issue of work, you've not been able to do them? Now that you have the opportunity, are you doing them?
Fantastic. I believe that's a beautiful place to end this. Let me quickly just take that comment on Twitter I saw. So it says, after you survive this crisis, consider it your second life. Work on your dream body, dress up better, achieve that clear skin, go somewhere you've never been, cut ties with unnecessary people, do the things you've been putting on hold, be kinder to yourself, and choose to be happy. And I believe that this comes from a place of understanding and knowing yourself, which you just talked about, and spending time with you, which this period, this pandemic, this lockdown avails us with enough time to do. Thank you so much, Toluse Francis, for joining us.